Hello, everybody. It's always a pleasure to be here because today the trio is complete. Everybody's together again. We have Ahmed with us again. I told you that he didn't run away from us because he loves doing this. So, Ahmed, what went on? What was the problem that you couldn't come to two last sessions? It's a daylight savings time, right?
Yes, yes. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody. This is Ahmed again. I'm sorry for not being with you for the last two live streams.
Mhm.
Actually, we have clock change, and actually, we have also shortage of electricity in my city. So I'm back. I'm back again. Thank you.
What about
Mm.
you, Nikita? How are you?
Good, doing good. Always, always
Uh-huh.
great, when we're like three together. It's always fun.
Yes. I'm the one who's not very well today. I'm still under the weather. You guys know that I had a serious sinus infection and hay fever altogether. I
Mm.
even took another COVID test, but it came negative. But my doctor told me to get some treatment, so I have to be under treatment for 3 months. But I'm
Hmm.
okay now. I'm feeling much better. And he also asked me how could I be working with such pain because he knows how it hurts.
Mm.
And I said I am resistant to pain. So let me say hello um, to the people who are here. As always, we have Ivona from Poland. She's a
Hello, everyone.
regular. We are fine, everybody's well. And we have a topic today that is very interesting. It was
Hmm.
suggested by last week's birthday boy, Nikita.
Yep.
And he suggested us to talk about listening and the importance of listening. So,
Yep.
Nikita, as you suggested the topic, please start the conversation.
Well, it would be honor. It would be an honor.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So, like everyone, I think everyone is familiar with three. I think it's three, right? With three basic skills. It's
Four,
like four.
Mm.
four.
Okay, four basic skills. Okay, like we've got speaking, we've got reading, then we've got listening, and the last one writing. Yeah,
Yeah.
four
Mm-hmm.
basic skills. Yeah. So why listening then? Like why listening? Well, first of all, people don't really do a lot of listening these days. Like if you take an average learner of English, uh, well, they might not really listen to that much outside the classroom, I mean. And well, even considering the classroom environment,
Mm.
because usually there is not enough time, to do a lot of listening, which is a pity, which is really a pity. And well, second of all, I think it's important to give people, some suggestions, some kind of advice that they can use to, well, improve their listening. Because, to be honest with you, I like I was that kind of person, who didn't really listen that much until the moment someone like told me, oh, like here is this podcast or here is this radio that you might like, and this is how it started. So I think it's something that's worth talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well,
Ahmed, did you finish?
yep, yep.
Ahmed, what's your take on that?
Yes. There is a saying I've always like remind myself with every time, like you
Mhm.
will never be a great speaker if you were not a good listener. And also,
Mm-hmm.
you will not be a great writer if you are not a good reader. So, for me, I think the most important two skills in English language skills are listening and reading.
Mhm.
And for me, I can give you guys some kind or some advices, or let me say tips, in order you can improve your listening. If you are a beginner and you don't know from where you can start, or even where to go, there are some kind of applications. For me, I have a Isla Speak application.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in that application, it allows you to listen to uh, like a few words, or then few sentences, and then few paragraphs, step by step. Every day they will give you new tasks in order you can improve your English. You can listen to the speaker more than once, and you can also slow the one who's speaking.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, if you are a beginner, and I like, I can recommend that application for you. It's called Esla Speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for me, I would like to talk more about the podcasts, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the site, or the place where I found myself, and I found that this is the great place that I can listen to native speakers, which is PPC Learning English. That or that site helps me a lot to improve my
Mm-hmm.
speaking and my listening too, because there you can listen to, like, every day they have 6 minutes English, and they have a conversation between two or more. It's gonna be like mono dialogue, uh, or like a normal dialogue, or more than one who speak.
Mm-hmm.
So there you can improve your listening more than other places, because we have different accents, and in uh, some places, or you can say like, oh, I can't listen well, or I can't understand what I'm listening. But in those official sites, you can listen the right accent. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
a fan of British accent, I recommend you to go to PPC Learning English.
Mm-hmm.
If American English, you can go to, there is a website which is American Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
There too, if you like the British or the American one, you can choose whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
yes, and
Awesome.
yes, that's enough for now.
Let me bring my take on this, because
Okay.
when I studied English, I didn't have, of course, none of these resources.
Mm-hmm.
So how did I do it? I could do it listening to songs, buying CDs,
Yeah.
and sometimes we didn't have the lyrics
Mm-hmm.
with the CD. So we had to glue our ears to the speakers to try to get a line from the song. It was really important because back then, as I started speaking English at 7 years old,
Hmm.
you can imagine how long ago that was. But it was really difficult, and we needed to buy only the books that the school I would go to would suggest us. So we didn't have so many resources as you guys have now. Because I can see Ahmed saying, "Oh, you can improve American English or British English in this podcast." And I said, and I was thinking, I didn't have the chance to choose if I wanted to learn British English or American English. So this evolution for me is really amazing, because for you it was really good, and also for me it was really good because maybe um, I wanted to get the line from the song, and I guessed the word was that one.
Mm-hmm.
And with the advent of the internet in the early 90s, late 80s, I could find some of these lyrics, the true lyrics, and I could see that I couldn't hear some words the proper way. You
Yep.
know, I thought it was one way and it was another way. But even today, in our own languages, we sing different verses of the song and we think it's
Mm-hmm.
right. And
Yes.
but that's really good, the way that the resources that you guys have today, and listening is really important. One thing that I would do, Nikita, when I was little studying English, I
Mm.
would turn on the TV on CNN, which was the only channel available that we have to practice. But
Mm-hmm.
I would leave the living room or the TV room just
Mm-hmm.
to listen, to force my listening, and to
Yeah.
be away from the television, not seeing images. Because,
Yeah.
like, if I am talking to you and Ahmed, if I have some difficulty, I can look at your mouth and see the movements that you guys are doing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would
Right.
do at that time. So
Right.
I would force myself. And then when I got uh, 98% of the dialogues that I was listening, what
Okay.
did I do? I would put the volume down. I would
Okay.
go down and down each time because the sound would be very low and I would have to force myself to listen. So it also works today. Like, you want to go to podcasts. If you are understanding everything 100% from the podcast, try to make it more difficult. Put the
Mm.
volume down, or go away and try to listen with it not in your ears. Make
Mm-hmm.
it difficult. I had a student. um Thank you, Maga. Happy International Men's Day, Maga saying for us.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
So
Thank you, Megan.
yes, yes, Ioana.
Elsa Speak. That's the name of the app.
Yes.
Elsa Speak. Okay, it's very famous. There's the paid version and there's the free version. Then you can choose the one that you want. If you want to buy the subscription or
Mm.
whatever. But I had a student once that he needed to have classes only through WhatsApp, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I told him, no, we're gonna have our classes through real calls.
Mm.
You're gonna
Uh,
call me through from your phone, from your line, the normal call,
uh-huh.
because the worse the call is, the better the class will be.
Wow.
Because I have to bring difficulties. So the
Yeah.
worse the connection is, the
Mm-hmm.
better the class will be, because you have to force and focus yourself to listen, and then your
Okay.
listen is going to improve, and it gives a good feedback from the students.
Mm-hmm.
From this student, he got really well with the listening. What do you guys in chat do, or girls do, to improve your listening? But what do you
Mm-hmm.
think of these that I told you that happened to me, and something that I do to my students to make listening more difficult so they can tune their listening? What do you think of this?
It depends on his level. If he's
Yes.
like a beginner, maybe that will be difficult for him, I guess.
Mhm.
Mm.
But if he's intermediate or in a high level, that will
Mhm.
help him a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. Agree. I think it's a good tip actually that you don't just listen to something,
Yeah.
but you make it more difficult,
Yes.
because challenges
Yes.
improve us, right?
And
They,
I
Yes.
agree. I agree totally, because we have to find things in our level, as Ahmed said.
of
Hmm.
course, yeah.
But then we have to make the things difficult.
Mm,
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
I am intermediate level, so make it difficult. Because
Mm-hmm.
when we watch a movie, for example, for
Mm-hmm.
the third time, we're going to understand everything.
Right.
So
Right.
put the movie in volume 4
Mm,
and watch the movie. Then you're gonna have to force the sounds. You have because our ears, in our native languages, we don't care, because we just turn on the television and listen, because
right.
we are used to
Right.
the sounds. That's the same thing we have to do with English,
Yes.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
subtitles, without subtitles, with subtitles in your native language or whatever, but force yourself to make your listening more difficult each time. Never
Yeah.
never leave the level here. Always here,
Mm,
because then you have to go up and let your and let your head up the water, let's say so.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
take.
for sure, for sure.
Ivona says to us, I listen to English podcasts and watch films in English. That's amazing. That's
Yep.
amazing. That's one of the best things. And what else could we say about listening? What other ideas or experiences you guys had that
Oh,
we could share?
we actually, like you
Mm-hmm.
guys actually mentioned a couple of things which I
Mm-hmm.
think really important.
Mm-hmm.
And well, first of all is Rod, you mentioned CNN, you
Mm-hmm.
know, so
That
uh,
was the only channel available back then, CNN and BBC,
right, right, and CNN and BBC, you will often find news there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Yes.
well, there are different things that you can listen to, obviously, and if we take just music and if we take films and if we take news, there are so many different ways in which people can speak in all of those like
Mm-hmm.
listening materials.
Yes.
And often you find that people speaking in the news, they are like aliens, you know, they speak with this kind of voice which is really, well, how can I put it, unusual, you know, really not natural.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't really speak like that.
I agree.
Yeah, and if you take movies, again, you might not
Mm-hmm.
understand everything, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
bit closer to the way you want to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be cautious in what you are listening to, and don't try to speak like people in the news.
Ahmed?
Yeah, what do you think?
um, I think in some cases you need to imitate others,
Of
because
course, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if
yeah.
if if that person is spelling the right way, like
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
if he says the right p, like
Mm-hmm.
people, and you
Okay.
need and you're not good enough in people, that you need just to imitate him at first in order to get the voice, and then you can choose your
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
accent and choose your way of
Yes.
speaking. And actually, I
Yeah.
have a great experience with the two things, which is the first one is films, and the second
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
one is songs. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
my advice for people who are listening to music, as a great teacher told me once, that you first you need to listen to them without lyrics, and then
Mm-hmm.
try to put the lyrics, and then listen to the song without the music, and in that way you can bring the vocabs, you can see the relaxed speech which used in that song,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
like my mom don't agree. There is a song says like, my mom don't, right, Rod?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you should know that not everything in songs is correct, but
Mm-hmm.
you need
Yeah.
to focus on the relaxed speech more than the
Yeah.
vocabs or grammar,
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
in most cases we don't have grammar at songs. And
Yeah.
but in films we can use, or we can get benefits of how many um, like we say idioms, or like sayings that you can
Yes.
memorize as,
Slang.
yes, as yes,
Mm-hmm.
not just vocabs, but even
Mm-hmm.
you can use great structures, great sentences you can say,
Mm-hmm.
and for films, uh, please, if you want to learn English, you need to watch the movie more than once or more than two
Mm-hmm.
times, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how you get benefit from the film, not
I
just.
agree with you because, like, let's say Friends is my favorite series of all time. you know so when you, even though Friends has a very easy speech and
Yes.
everyday language, when you start watching the first, second, third episodes, you still have to pay closer attention to the
Mm-hmm.
dialogues. But after you get used to the voices and the way each character speaks, You
Mm-hmm.
don't need that anymore. That's what you guys are saying. Because when you get used to the way that the person, oh, okay, you can meet me for the first time and have classes with me. Oh, for me,
Okay.
Rod speaks very fast, or Rod speaks clearly, or I
Mm-hmm.
have some difficulty listening to him. If you listen to me two, three, four times, in the fifth time, you are already understanding 90% of what I'm saying
Yep.
because
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
got used to my way of speaking.
Mm.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
nobody's speaking in a wrong way. We just have to get used to it. Like if
Right.
I was speaking Russian and Nikita was trying to teach me, probably the first, second, third time I would be killing myself. I don't know. It's
Probably.
very difficult or whatever. Or even
Mm-hmm.
Arabic. I wanted to say Ahmed's name in the proper way. I remember that the third or fourth time that I was practicing by myself to say his name, the H was really difficult for me to say. But
Mm-hmm.
now it goes freely. So it's practice. Listening is practice. Also, reading, listening together. Read out loud because you are practicing both. You're speaking, you're reading, and you're listening. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
read one
Yeah.
page out loud. You don't need to read the whole book out loud, or else you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna die in exhaustion.
Yeah.
But do everything together. I read books out loud. It's really good. What you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. Agree. Actually, there is whole other session on reading and reading
Mm-hmm.
aloud. I mean,
Yeah.
so much to talk
Mm-hmm.
about. So
Yes.
it's a really great tip.
I think we could do a series on listening, reading, writing, and speaking.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure.
but
Yeah.
but listening is also my passion. Ahmed,
Mm-hmm.
what do you like most when we are speaking about listening? What is enchanting for you in that matter, or
I
on
love.
that matter?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
actually, like a while ago, I start to focus more about the eye contact with people who are talking to
Mm-hmm.
me, because I
Mm-hmm.
think not only listen to them, but if you want to understand more and more, you need to
Mm-hmm.
look at their eyes when they are speaking. I think
Yeah.
it's a strategy you can use in order to, if you are understanding listening like 70%, you can
Mm-hmm.
with eye contact reach 90. So
Yeah,
yes, that's what I.
that's really good. That's really good. What about you, Nikita? What do you like about
Uh,
listening?
what I like about listening
Yeah, most.
most,
Yeah.
I can now I
Mm-hmm.
can do it anywhere, you know, at
Yeah.
any time. Like I walk down the
Yes.
street, I put my earphones and I listen to something. I
Mm-hmm.
do, I don't know, I do housework. I put my
Mm-hmm.
earphones and I do
Oh,
this.
you do housework. I'm so proud of
Mm.
you. Great, great. He's a multitasking man. I'm joking with Nikita. We like to joke all the time. Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
Nice, nice. That's so good. That's so good.
those
Go
cheeky
ahead, go
remarks.
ahead. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
So yeah, what I was saying, yeah,
Mm,
you can be really flexible with it, and
yeah.
also you can listen to so many things. Really, you like
Mm-hmm.
history, you go out there and you find a
Yes,
podcast all about
yes,
Yes.
history. You
Mm.
like
yes.
chemistry, go out there, listen to something about chemistry.
Yeah.
You like cooking, okay, fine, find a podcast about cooking.
Mm.
Or maybe you like I don't know, classical music.
Mm-hmm.
Find people talking about classical music. It's so easy now, right?
That's what I was going to say. We're going to have always a subject that we are more comfortable with, that we
Hmm.
like to talk more about. But I have a funny story. It's a very good exercise. When I
Okay.
travel to the States, I always try to eavesdrop what people are talking near
Oh.
me.
Mm.
That's a good exercise. Like, let's suppose that you and Ahmed are talking close to me, and
Hmm.
of course, I am silent, and I try to understand what you guys are talking about. And I remember I was in Orlando once, and I was talking to my wife, and it was the World Cup time. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was 1998, a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. Ahmed was 1 year old. And let me tell you, I listened to this dialogue. There were two girls talking, and they were
Uh-huh.
talking about the World Cup, soccer World Cup or football World Cup, and one
Mm-hmm.
girl said to the other one, "For me, soccer is like a boyfriend who I could never see the end of that sentence. I wanted to see what a boyfriend was like compared to soccer, but I never could because the girls went away and I couldn't hear anymore." So I
Question
am
teacher.
frustrated up to this day, 27 years or 25 years or whatever. I don't know what soccer is compared to a boyfriend, because this is eavesdropping. If you are
Yeah.
if you are having breakfast and you are in the States or in a speaking or in a club or in a country that speaks English,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
practice this way. Try to listen. Don't go to the person and say, "Oh, I'm listening to what you're saying." But please don't, but practice.
Yeah.
That's good. Eavesdropping, that's the name. Eavesdropping, that's the
Yeah.
word. you know but it was really funny for me. Soccer is like a boyfriend who, and I couldn't hear the rest, and I was so frustrated because I never knew uh, and I thought, what would that be? But
Uh-huh.
I'll
Yes.
never know. I'll never know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say we have to force ourselves to speak.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Right. Right.
and what is your favorite subject in English, Ahmed and Nikita, to listen
Uh,
to?
yes. But before going to that, I have one last
Hmm.
advice for people who
Yes.
are. I want you to pay attention to nonverbal signs like the body
Yeah.
language or the tone of speaking, because it's very
Yeah.
important when you listen to someone to know
Hmm.
when he is asking, when he is like wondering. You can say this from the tone, not only the
Yes.
words coming from his
Hmm.
mouth. Uh,
Yes.
Yeah.
and for me, asking about subjects, for
Hmm.
me, math is my favorite because I
Math.
used. Yes, you said you said subjects, right?
You
That's
mean
why I think that's why
topics,
we
right?
are friends. Yeah, that's why we are friends. He likes to listen to things in English about math. Okay.
Yes. No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I misunderstand you. I thought that you were asking about my favorite subject at school.
Oh,
School
no, no, no.
subjects.
For
Oh.
listening. For listening.
For listening, I love to listen to stories about.
We lost you. We lost your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Now we
Now,
can.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that I love listening to news stories.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
stories.
Nikita, let me tell you something. I think we need to start dress for success because Ahmed comes dressed in high
I've
level
I've
clothes
just
and we
back
are
from
at home
home
like
from work. I've just back from work. That's
no.
why.
Nikita, I think we need to change, man.
We
We
do.
need to have a conversation and see how we're gonna work that.
Have you just
No, I'm
realized this?
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh
Always
yeah.
remember, sometimes the clothes do not make the man, or
Yes.
what that means is you have to be what you are. And I'm just joking because he's really well dressed and both of us are, but that's why we are
Just
friends.
right.
So
Right.
just to make some jokes with you. But
Yeah. We were talking
I
about favorite topics, right?
yes, what was your favorite topic? What is your favorite topic actually?
It's ordinary banter, just
Hmm.
ordinary chatting. It's I think it's something that, well, the most entertaining and the most useful thing
Hmm.
you could
Hmm.
possibly listen to. in my opinion, it's a rambling conversation with people who really know each other really, really
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
because you get engaged in the conversation, and
Yes.
people usually talk in this, well, quite
Mhm.
quite relaxed manner, and
Mhm.
there are usually some dodgy jokes, some things, some idioms maybe,
Mhm.
and people speak really fast,
Mhm.
and so it's quite entertaining and enjoyable to listen
Yes.
to that. So that's
Could
my
you
favorite
please
thing.
explain to people what banter means?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because it's from British English. If you speak American English, maybe you don't know the expression. Please, sir.
Okay. Banter. It's actually, I would say it's a conversation between men, between two men, and
Yeah,
uh, it's usually a bit cheesy because they might be
a banter is actually what I did with Ahmed's clothing. Like Nikita, we
right.
have to get better dressed. This is bantering, when
Yeah,
you try to play with the other one in a funny way that nobody
yeah.
gets mad at it. That's a
Yeah.
Right,
banter.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're just talking, maybe saying something a bit stupid,
yeah,
and it's quite quite a usual thing between
yes,
men,
yes, yes, yes.
and some people say that uh, some people say rambling, so
Mm-hmm.
talking
Rambling.
in an well, how can I
Oh,
put
a
it?
rambling is a way that you
Yeah,
have to keep the conversation going anyway.
of
Like
course.
if I
Yeah.
am live by myself, if you guys don't show up, I have to be rambling on camera for 1 hour and trying to engage with the people in the audience. So
Of course,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
is rambling.
Talking in an uncertain or maybe
Yeah.
some random
Hmm.
way.
Yeah.
That's what rambling is.
To tell you the truth, I speak by myself a lot.
Oh, okay.
Because
Hmm.
if I am alone waiting for a student to come for class, sometimes I drive speaking by myself sometimes.
That's
Hmm.
Once I
me,
was stopped
Rod.
at a
That's me.
traffic light. I was stopped at the traffic light, and I was no, she might be home by now. I was thinking about my wife,
Hmm.
and suddenly I had the windows down. Suddenly I looked to the left, and there was a guy looking at me funny, like this guy's crazy. He's talking funny stuff. And then I said, "Barabadoo, dee babadoo." I pretended that I was singing, not to be taken as a crazy man. So, but I was literally thinking out loud. So
Okay.
yeah, that's crazy. That's from only
Okay.
child.
Uh, I'm gonna give you an advice, Rod, because I have
Okay, please.
problem for real. I
Mm,
have
mm-hmm.
every. Please use loose.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But then
very
I, but then I don't hear the
safe,
external
Rod.
sounds, and I and I crash the car.
You can put one. You can put one. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
people
yeah,
will think that you are talking to someone else.
yeah.
So
But
Right.
when it
whatever
happened
do.
to me, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have
Ah.
cell phones. That's why
Uh,
the person that's why the person took me as a crazy one. I don't deny
oh,
that I
gosh.
am a little that I am a little bit crazy. I don't deny that. Of course I am.
You know that
But
smart people
yeah,
do this, right?
No,
no,
actually,
I didn't know
No,
about that.
smart people do this.
they
Smart
do,
Hmm.
people.
yeah. Hmm.
That's
Why?
why we.
Tell me. I didn't know that, guys.
That's why both of us are smart, and we are
You are
talking
smart. You are smart and fancy as
because
well, I suppose.
they say that if a person is talking to himself, that means he has like um, too much responsibility that he can solve them with his own,
Mhm.
like alone. You can. That's why
Mhm.
you talk and discuss things alone. That
Mhm.
you can depend on yourself.
Mhm.
Like
Mm. Hmm.
you don't need other person to talk with, or no, you can solve
Mhm.
all your problems. And there are
Yeah.
the other explanations, of course, but this is what stuck in my mind since.
Mhm.
And
I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
wondering if you guys remember the first sentence or a piece of something that you understood that you didn't understand before because your listen has improved. Oh, that's what it means. I couldn't understand that before. Do you remember this?
Oh gosh.
Mm.
Mm.
When was the first time that you
Uh,
said, "Oh, my improving my listening because I could understand that now"?
the relaxed speech, since I met
Mhm.
Hello Talk, your sessions in Hello Talk,
Mhm.
actually I was like exhausted from listening to people who said, "What you doing? Like, what are you
What
doing?"
you're
Like,
doing? What you're
yes.
doing?
So
Yeah.
what is what you like? It refers to what? So
Yeah.
I understand the question, but sometimes it's confusing.
Why
But
is that like that? Yeah.
yes, and after Hello Talk sessions
Mhm.
with you, Rod, uh,
Mhm.
I understand them very well. So now, yeah, now I understand everything I can. Um,
Nikita.
mm,
I think I think it was a podcast probably. It was like yeah, probably the first year I started listening to podcast. And at
Mhm.
that time I was not really good at that, you know.
Mhm.
I found it quite complicated and difficult to listen to
Mhm.
someone
Mhm.
from another country and
Mhm.
speaking really fast.
Mhm.
And I kept listening, you know, kept going
Mhm.
because I enjoyed it. And you know, in some time I just went back to that episode and I thought, was that really difficult? Why? Like,
Mm.
later.
you know, there's
Yes.
nothing special
There's
about that.
nothing strange in that.
Mm,
Yeah. And why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why I found it difficult. And
Mhm.
it's interesting actually how we make some progress and
Yeah.
we uh well, let's take listening, how we
Mhm.
make some progress and
Mhm.
we don't really notice it,
Mhm.
though we should, you know.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
should celebrate it that yeah, now I can do it.
Yeah, I understand it now. Nice.
Yeah, it's like a
The
little
second
victory.
time I listen to it, I'll know what that is now. Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
Mhm.
yeah. And it's it's really important to notice these things, to pay attention to it, to
Mhm.
to give yourself not to beat yourself up, but
Mhm.
to celebrate it and say, yeah, I can do it now. It's easy now. So
I can tell
yeah,
you a very funny story on that you were saying. Once I was in New York
okay. Hmm.
and I was buying a meal for dinner because
Hmm.
McDonald's you go all the time.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was with my students and also with my wife, of course. And then I let my students go and do their ordering because I want them to experience. But I'm
Okay.
always around because if something comes up, I'm there to help them.
Hmm.
And they ordered what they want, and the cashier asked for her to go. He said, "I'm sorry, could you repeat? For her to go." And then my student looked at me funny, and I looked at the cashier and said, "For here, for here, we're gonna eat it here." Oh, that's what she was saying. He told me. Yeah, what she was saying, Rod. It told me. I said, she said, for here or to go. But when she
Oh
speaks in
yeah.
relaxed speech, she says for her to go.
For her to go.
So
For
that's
her
what
to
I
go.
want the students to get, you know?
Yeah.
Like oh, so he never forgot that again because people in New York they don't mind much if they are, if you understand what they're saying. They are fast pacing people, they want to go
Yeah.
to the next. Thank you, next. And
Yes.
it was really funny. And also I think I told last week's live stream, but I'm gonna tell it again.
Mhm.
The Americano story, or
Mm.
haven't I told you, Nikita? At
I
on
I
We
don't
were
know.
at Starbucks. We were at Starbucks, and
Okay.
there's a coffee
Mm-hmm.
that's called Americano.
All right.
You have to say Americano. And my student was in line ordering again, and I was a little bit far. And he said, I want an Americano.
Ah.
And the cashier lady said, what do you want, sir? Sorry? I want an Americano. And I was far away. And I
Yeah.
thought that he was going to get into trouble. And I said, I'm going to help him because he's going to get nervous.
Yeah.
The dad part acts in. And I said, from where I was, I said, he wants an Americano. And the lady said, oh, he wants an Americano. Thank you, sir. He looked at me. How do you do this? I was at her face and you were far away and she understood you and she didn't understand me. And I said, no, it's just the way that you have to pronounce. Because if you say like in we have something, we have a lot of Arabic food in Brazil. Like we
Mm-hmm.
say kibe. If I
Mm-hmm.
say kibe in another way in Brazil, people won't understand. You know,
Yeah.
like if Ahmed comes here and says the right way in Arabic, which is kiba, right?
Yes,
Uh,
but
People wouldn't understand. Yeah, go
if you
ahead.
said it here, they will laugh on you
Yeah,
because it's not kiva,
because
it's
the right way
kibba.
is kiba, right?
Yes, kibba.
So the pronunciation is everything. You
Hmm?
know,
Yeah. Right. Right.
one other time, a student of mine wanted to buy. This is the last one that I'm going to tell you because I have many stories about students which are really funny. She
Mm-hmm.
wanted to buy some kind of socks for a party, and
Right.
and she asked me, "How do I say it?" I said, "You say sock because you needed it funny." And she didn't remember. She said, "I'm going to buy it by myself." The store was
Mm-hmm.
across the street, and I was waiting. And then I think 5 minutes later, she came happy, and she said, "I got it, I got it, I got it." And then I said, "What did you do?" And she said, "I just said to the girl, I just point to my feet, and I said, in Portuguese, socks are meia." And she would
Mm-hmm.
point to her feet, and she would say meia very slowly, thinking that the person seeing her would understand, the clerk would understand what she was saying. And then
Mm-hmm.
she said, how did you do this? Because the girl was a Brazilian girl. She was so lucky that the sales girl could speak Portuguese. And she said, okay, take your time, choose yours. And then she said, "Oh, I could speak Portuguese inside of the store." I said, "You were so lucky, to do
Yeah.
Yes,
that in a million."
yes,
Do you have any funny stories with pronunciation that the
uh,
person helped you with?
yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, when I was young, the first song I start to learn and memorize, which named as number one for me, and
Mm,
there was a sentence in that song says, "I was a foolish little child."
mm,
Mm.
So for the first time, I read it. I was a foolish lead child, like lead, like not
mm,
letter. And
mm-hmm,
I
Mm-hmm.
kept repeating this. I was a little like I was a foolish little child, lead child, lead child,
mm-hmm,
not a little child.
mm-hmm,
Mm.
Recently, when I back again with lyrics, I
mm.
found that it's a letter, like it's a little
The lyrics, you
letter.
found the
Yes,
lyrics for the
yes.
song. Yeah.
Mm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what? How I didn't get it? Like
Mm-hmm.
then I start to focus more about
Yeah.
the lyrics more than other.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it's very important. Yes.
Yes, that's good. What about you, Nakita?
Hmm. I'm
You
just
you are
trying
a
to
living
remember.
you are a living book of funny stories. Go ahead.
Right, right. Let me remember. Because, well, about pronunciation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, okay. It's it's actually more about
Or
well,
even listening. You might have a funny story on listening.
yeah, yeah. But okay, here's the story. I was
Mm.
living with my host family.
Oh, where did you
I-
travel to?
It was 2019. I was in Brighton, England, southwest England.
That's why he's a British English speaker.
I do
Mm.
like that type of English. I do
Mm-hmm.
like it, and particularly that country as well. So yeah, well, yeah, I was there, and I was, we usually we would have breakfast together, we would have dinner together,
We
and
what? I can't
uh,
hear.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We would have breakfast together,
Yes,
dinner
yes.
together.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. So
Mm,
we would be together at that time,
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
and every time we used to talk, like
mm-hmm,
just usual things like, oh, the weather was like this, what did you do at school, how's been your day, stuff like that. And
mm-hmm,
there was another girl who was living
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
with me. I
mm-hmm,
actually, when I arrived at the
mm,
house, he'd
mm,
been living there for some time.
mm.
And just remember the first conversation that we had.
Uh,
I was really exhausted, just completely exhausted, because I
yeah, you have headaches because you have to focus and concentrate. Yeah. Let
not
me just
only
say
that,
hello to
man.
Sida because she says that
Okay.
she's late. No,
Wow.
she's
Oh,
never late.
hello, Sida.
Hello, Sita. You're always here. Welcome. You're never late. We are
Yeah.
almost at the end of the session, but we have a funny story from Nikita who had a headache because he was talking to his roommate for the whole day. Go ahead.
So okay, not only headache. So right, it was like my first day there.
Mm-hmm.
I literally crossed the whole town just with my suitcase, because I
Uh,
was because I arrived and I had about 3 hours to kill.
Mm-hmm.
So I crossed the whole town with this enormous, just huge suitcase. I
Mm-hmm.
arrived there, and I met her, and we just had a conversation. We were talking, and you know, I guess at the end of the day, I thought, oh,
Yeah.
like it was a great conversation today. I was so sure that she understood everything and everything was all right. And I guess 1 week later, when we were just talking together,
Mm-hmm.
she said that, oh, remember when you arrived? I actually didn't understand a single thing that you said. I was like, oh my god, seriously?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
look what Sita wrote. She was rolling on the floor laughing, and she said Nikita has great stories. It's
Thank you, Sita.
I
I really
remember I
appreciate
remember
it.
that
Thank you.
once I remember that once I was coming I was flying back from New York,
Okay.
and there was a girl coming back from an exchange program. She was flying back from the States to Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and she was really excited because she was coming back to her home country and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a girl from the group, and she said, do you like this song? And the girl, and she gave it wasn't an AirPod yet or iPod or whatever. It
Mm-hmm.
was a Discman. I don't think you guys even know what that is. We would put the
Not really.
CD inside, and
Mm-hmm.
it would be like the same as an AirPod today,
yeah.
but we
Mm-hmm.
use the CDs, and she
CD
hold
player. Yeah.
the CD player in her hand,
Right.
and she gave the headphones to the girl to listen to the girl from my group. And the
Okay.
girl was so exhausted that she slept with the headphones on. And the girl was looking at her face like, what do I do now? Because And she didn't reply to the girl. I said, "Don't worry, she's sleeping. You can get the headphones off." And
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, she's exhausted because it is a long trip. So, and I didn't know
Hmm.
what to say because she was so excited talking to my student, and suddenly she slapped. So,
Yeah.
but that's something similar that happened to you. So,
Yeah, yeah. And like
mhm,
the message, like my
mhm,
message is,
mhm,
if you don't understand someone, it's
yeah,
not because their English is rubbish or your English
yeah,
is rubbish.
yeah,
It's not that. It's
yeah.
just you haven't got used to them speaking
Mhm.
yet.
Yeah, Sida says, I know Discman. Rod, we are old. Oh my God. Sida, I know that our place is different. The guys were talking about podcasts. I remember listening to cassette tapes. So guys, I think that we are
Uh,
almost at the end of the show today.
mm-hmm.
And Nikita, what
Mm.
is the quote for the day?
Okay, let me just find it
Because
here.
you're the king of quotes.
Right, right, right. Okay, okay, I found it. Okay.
Could you say last week's as well? Do you
Oh,
still have it?
oh, let me remember. I
I think
think.
you have in the WhatsApp group.
Let me check it. Let me check it.
Say
I
this
don't
one
know.
first, if you want.
Okay, okay. So this one is by Marilyn Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people know her,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes like this: Keep smiling because life is a beautiful thing, and there is
Mm-hmm.
so much to smile about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
Okay,
agree. I agree.
this is
couldn't
the
agree
quote.
more.
Can you
Yeah.
find the last week
I
one?
can try. I can try.
Just
Just.
uh, just scroll down the group that you can find maybe.
Uh, oh, here it is. I think I'll find it. I
Mm-hmm.
think I'll find it. Hmm. Yeah. This one, yeah, this one from last week. It's a quote by Bernard M. Borch.
Mm.
So if I
It's
mispronounced his
awesome.
name,
It's awesome. Please, yes.
okay. So here it is:
Mm.
Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those
Hmm.
who matter don't mind.
Yes. I
Okay.
totally agree. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
I
Those
Yes.
who
think,
mind don't matter,
yeah,
and those who matter
don't mind.
don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the ones who don't like you will talk about you. The ones who like you, they accept you the way you are. It's
Yes.
exactly it. I really agree with it.
yeah,
I really
yeah.
do.
All right.
Well, what is going to be your last words for today, Ahmed?
I'm gonna give Sida a puzzle, or I can give you a
Hmm.
puzzle, guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
What kind of puzzle? I'm really
a
bad with
mathematical one.
puzzles.
A mathematical one.
Eh,
Oh,
don't
Uh,
count on me.
okay, can anyone
Okay, go
count?
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Count.
Uh,
Okay, Nikita, I need your help. Count from 1 to 5, or to 10.
no, I can do this. I can do this. Count
Okay.
from 1 to 5. I can do.
Okay,
Okay.
but slowly, slowly, please.
Okay.
okay, okay.
Out loud
One,
or
Yes,
or
yes, out loud. Yes.
Nikita, go.
okay. One, two, three, four, five.
Stop. So those are 5, right? Now we
Right.
Yeah.
need to go from back again. I
Mhm.
from 10 to 1. Okay, count
From
again.
20. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Stop. Are those 6?
Uh, Actually, you only got 5, right? You only got
So
5.
how you said 10, 9, 8, 7,
Yeah.
6. So are those are not 6 and those are not 6. So how that could be?
I
Hmm.
hate you so hard right now.
Hmm.
How that could be? And if you
I
continue, you will say 10, 9, 8, 7,
Yeah.
6, 5. So are those five? No.
Mm.
So how that could be?
What do I do with that thumb?
So try and
Please, what is the answer?
mm,
Because I am
mm,
stupid.
you need to search.
Ah,
You need to.
I'm sorry, guys. I hope you have 10 more
Yeah.
hours to be live with us today. So,
You see, when I started
No,
counting,
for
you see,
yes.
Ahmed, when I started counting the first time, I started counting with one, right? And
yes.
so,
Okay,
so it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got
okay,
all five.
okay. So
But the second time I started counting with 10,
okay. So
and I got only four. I got to count only
how?
four times.
You have 10 and 9 and 7 and 8 and 7 and 5.
Yeah.
Oh, but there is 6 here, not 5. How that could be?
Hmm.
Can we chop off the thumb?
No, you can't. Absolutely not.
So, what is
Uh,
the answer, please? I have anxiety problems.
okay. Maybe there is someone who can answer you.
Hello?
Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Say,
Hello?
okay.
Omar, how are you? Nikita, I think he's
Okay.
stalling us, as he's not going to give the answer.
I think so.
Hello?
Hey.
What is the answer, Ahmed?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer.
Mhm.
When you count back from 10 to 1, you need to
Hmm.
minus 1. This is a mathematical,
To, to minus one when?
like, don't start from 10. You start like this. You say, you
And
say
go nine.
9.
Okay. Okay. Got you now.
I
I,
was
Okay.
trying to make this point, right? I was trying to make this point that
I,
you
I would
shouldn't
I
start
would
with
never
10.
I would never ever guess. If you tell me that 2 plus 2 is 5, I'm gonna agree with you and no more conversations
No
about it,
problem
you
here,
know.
right?
Yes.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
guys, after this very, how can I say, frustrating mathematical quiz, I think we can wrap up. And
Yeah.
I would like to say that it is always a pleasure to be with you. I'm sorry because I'm sick and recovering again. I might not be at the top of my game, but I will be soon. And you are always funny, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget that the live streams for us in Brazil now is 3 p.m. and
Mhm.
we're gonna keep going. Okay. So
Yeah.
Nikita, after this, what is your last word to finish the show?
Oh, last words. I think
Yeah.
uh, I think it would be appropriate say just listen to more things.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that you enjoy
Yeah.
and be positive, guys.
What do you think if we bring an excerpt from a book next week and practice reading something out loud?
Yes.
What do you
Oh,
Yes.
guys think?
Please.
I
it would
bring a
be
piece,
wonderful.
you
Yeah.
bring a piece,
Yeah,
and
it would be
Ahmed
wonderful, of
brings a piece,
course.
like a paragraph or
Okay.
something,
Hmm.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know.
Sure.
So next
Yes.
week is going to be reading. We're going to
Right.
talk. Let's talk about the four pillars of the English language. Today was listening. Next week is going to
Yes.
be reading. All right.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Sure.
And
Sure.
Sure.
also, something very important that we didn't say when we are practicing listening, it's very important to listen to others people's accent as well, because
Oh, for
English
sure.
is a lingua franca again, and we have to remember it. So there are Englishes and Englishes. There's my English, there's Nikita's English, there's Ahmed's English, there's Sida's English, there's Mega's English, there's Ivona's English, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Everyone has their English, so we have to understand and respect it. All right?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
guys,
Sure.
it was a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you so much. Ahmed, I'm sorry that I studied languages and arts and I'm not good in math. So, but
No
that
worries.
was really good. That was really good. Thank you, guys.
That
See
was.
you. Bye bye.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
See
See
you,
you. Bye bye.
everybody.